Are you presently under the influence of any intoxicating liquors or drugs?
No.
Have you had plenty of time to discuss this case with your attorney, Mr. Watts?
Yes.
Do you need any more time to visit with him about the things we've just discussed?
No.
An inmate calling in from Minnesota to face unfinished Kansas charges. Cornell Hayes is back before Butler County District Court over a 2019 felony fleeing case. A failure to appear, a pending jury trial, and now a no contest plea on the table. Subscribe, like, and share for more courtroom breakdowns.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Hayes. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll go on the record. This is in the District Court of Butler County, Kansas. Case is entitled State of Kansas versus Cornell Hayes, case number 19 CR 428. Would counsel announce appearances, please?
Amber Norris for the state.
Your Honor, James Watts on behalf of the defendant, who appears from the Minnesota Department of Corrections via Zoom.
All right, this is a case in which Mr. Hayes filed a detainer action. He had a failure to appear out of this court. It looks like back in 2020, and is incarcerated in the state of Minnesota. It looks like, from going back through the docket notes, that he had been arraigned previously and case was awaiting jury trial at the time of the failure to appear. Mr. Watts, what announcement is being made about this case today?
Your Honor, I've discussed what is still on the table with my client and discussed that as well with Ms. Norris and what might be able to resolve this case. I've also discussed with my client the nature of the plea and what questions the court's likely to ask. It is my understanding my client would plead no contest to count one of the information, which is fleeing or attempting to elude. At time of sentencing, Your Honor, it appears he's possibly a C on the grid, but again, we don't really have any certainty of that. We can't know that with any certainty, but talking to my client, that appears where he's likely to fall. The parties would ask that this case run concurrent to the time he's currently serving in the state of Minnesota. We don't see any statutory reason why that cannot be done.
Okay, there's not a special rule that would require this. He wasn't on supervision for a felony at the time that this was committed that you're aware of?
He may have been supervision for a felony at the time this was committed, but it's almost certain. In fact, it's certainly not the felony he's currently serving time for in Minnesota.
All right.
That arose after this case.
All right, Ms. Norris, is that your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
All right, and Ms. Hayes, you wish to enter a no contest plea to count one in exchange for the dismissal of the remaining counts?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to ask you a number of questions now to take your plea. Could you state your full name for the record?
Cornell Hayes,
How old are you?
35,
What is your highest level of education?
9th grade.
Is your plea being made freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
If you've had any questions about any of the legal concepts, have you been able to discuss those with Mr. Watts?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you understand that even though the prosecutor and your attorney may make certain recommendations to me at the time of sentencing, that the court does not have to follow those recommendations, that those decisions are mine and mine alone?
Yes.
When you plead no contest, you surrender and waive certain legal rights you'd otherwise have if you chose to go to trial. Do you understand that you have a right to a speedy trial where your guilt or innocence would be determined by a jury, or if you chose to waive a jury, by a judge?
Yes.
Do you understand at trial you would have the right to confront the witnesses against you and have them cross-examined by your attorney?
Yes.
Do you understand at trial you would have the right to subpoena witnesses who may have information favorable to you and call them to testify in your behalf?
Yes.
Do you understand at trial it would be the burden of the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt on each element of the charges against you before you could be found guilty?
Yes.
Do you understand the judge and the jury must presume you are innocent until the state proves otherwise, if ever, beyond a reasonable doubt?
yes,
Do you understand if you're convicted at trial, you would have the right to ask the court for a new trial, and if denied, would have the right to appeal your conviction and your sentence to the appellate courts of Kansas?
yes,
Do you understand on a no contest plea, you still have a right to appeal the sentence, but you may not be able to appeal the finding of guilt?
yes,
Do you understand that when you enter a no contest plea, you give up your right to present any defenses you may have had to these charges?
yes,
Do you understand you're giving up each one of these rights if you plead no contest?
yes,
And I'm going to go over the possible penalties that can be imposed. I don't know if you've seen one of these. This is a sentencing grid for felonies in Kansas. Have you ever seen one of these charts?
yes,
All right. I'll go through the sentencing range, which on a level 9 person felony is between 5 months and 17 months in prison. Where you fall on this grid will be determined by your prior criminal history. If you have one person and one non-person felony or less in your criminal history, it's presumed you'd be placed on probation. If you have 2-person felonies or more in your criminal history, it's presumed you'd be placed in prison. Do you understand that?
yes,
There could also be special sentencing rules that could apply. As I mentioned earlier, if you were on felony bond, felony probation, or felony parole at the time that this offense was committed, the court would likely be ordered to run this sentence consecutive to any sentence you were being supervised on. Do you understand that?
yes,
And the court would also have the option under that scenario to place you in prison, even if you fell in one of the presumptive probation boxes. Do you understand that?
yes,
All right. As we sit here today, I don't know where you're going to fall on the grid. Court services will do a criminal background check that will go through your criminal history that will ultimately determine where you will fall on the grid. And you understand that?
yes,
All right. The maximum fine on the level 9 felony is $100,000. Do you understand that?
yes,
Do you understand that in addition to the possible sentence and fine, the court will order payment of court costs and may require you to pay restitution for any personal injury or property loss?
yes,
Do you understand that if you are placed on probation, you'd be responsible for the cost of the probation program, and that you
yes,
may be ordered to reimburse the state for your indigent attorney's fees?
yes,
Have you ever been adjudged mentally ill by a court?
no,
Have you ever had a guardianship or a conservatorship set up to handle your affairs?
no,
Are you presently under the influence of any intoxicating liquors or drugs?
no,
Have you had plenty of time to discuss this case with your attorney, Mr. Watts?
yes,
Do you need any more time to visit with him about the things we've just discussed?
no,
Keeping in mind the matters we have discussed, is it still your wish to plead no contest?
yes,
Ms. Norris, could you provide a factual basis, please?
Here's where the stakes sharpen. Prosecutors outline how Hayes allegedly fled from a Benton quick shop, then tore down K-254 at over 100 miles per hour, passing on the shoulder with cars nearby. That reckless detail locks in the felony fleeing element. Was there ever a real defense here?
Your Honor, on October 4, 2019, near K-254 and Southwest County Line Road, law enforcement did see the defendant's vehicle at around Highway K-254 and the Benton city limits, so well within Butler County. Defendant was pulled over, or defendant had pulled into a quick shop in Benton, and law enforcement did approach the vehicle. The defendant did Yeah, Your Honor, law enforcement did try to approach him personally at the quick shop, and then he did go into, basically kind of fled through the store, and then went and got back into his vehicle and left the quick shop there in Benton, and law enforcement did pursue. There were multiple moving violations. Defendant was driving recklessly, going over 100 miles per hour, with other vehicles very nearby, and was passing on the shoulder. That'd be sufficient for the court regarding the felony flee and elude.
I believe so. Thank you, Ms. Norris. Mr. Watts, any comment regarding the factual basis?
None, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Hayes, the court finds that you are alert and intelligent, that you understand the nature of the charges and appreciate the consequences of pleading no contest. I further find that you understand the rights you are giving up by pleading no contest, and that the facts of the case would be sufficient for a finding of guilt. I further find your decision to plead no contest has been freely and voluntarily given after having received advice of counsel. I will therefore find you guilty of count 1, fleeing or attempting to elude an officer, a level 9 person felony. Ms. Norris, is there an announcement regarding the remaining counts?
Your Honor, state would dismiss the remaining counts of the information based on the plea.
All right, counts 2 through 4 are dismissed at this time. I am going to order a pre-sentence investigation be done, and we do need to set a sentencing date, at least 8 weeks out. Angela, are you familiar with when the correctional facility that he's in would be able to conduct a sentencing hearing?
I believe so, Judge. I have May 15th at 1:15.
May 15th at 1:15, if that works for calendars of council.
Yes, sir, I can do that.
Your Honor, that should be fine by the state.
All right, Mr. Hayes, do you expect you'll be at the same correctional facility on May 15th?
Yes.
Okay. Any reason to believe that that date doesn't work for the correctional facility?
No.
Okay. All right, our court services department may be reaching out to you in some way. I don't know if that would be by mail or how, but they might have some paperwork for you to fill out in order to complete the pre-sentence investigation report. If you do receive that, make sure you comply so we'll have everything we need to have you sentenced when we come back in May. Do you have any questions, Mr. Hayes?
All right. No, sir.
All right, counsel, is there anything else we need to do with Mr. Hayes's case today?
No,
I
Your Honor.
believe so, Your Honor. I'll call court services as soon as we're done here, make sure they're aware of it and how to reach
All right.
him.
And we've got the contact information for the correctional facility if they need it. All
Yes,
right, if there's nothing further, we'll be in recess. Have a good day.
With the plea accepted and counts 2 through 4 dismissed, Hayes now awaits a pre-sentence investigation and a May 15th sentencing date. Everything hinges on his criminal history grid placement and whether concurrency holds. This case isn't over, it's paused. Like, comment, and subscribe for more shocking courtroom stories.